Hey YouTube, Moose Cow here with a recap of round 1 of our first YouTube war of Kings and Kaisers. If you're just tuning in, I am playing the Allied powers and the Madman is playing the Central powers. And here is what has gone on. First things first, before I forget, here is the casualty bin from the Boneyard dish. Now, not all these are casualties, all the white units are aligned. From a minor aligned powers, no gray chips, which I added this into my game. I had the epiphany right before we started this. I grabbed the gray chips from my copy of 1914, which are 1942. I grabbed my gray chips from 1942, and I'm using those for my neutral chips as they are 1914 compatible, and makes them more distinct, blends in nicely. Before I would just split them between red and blue chips, and this is way better, way better. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, no neutral minor powers have been attacked. These are all from aligned territories, and not all of the aligned territories have been activated or attacked yet. We still have the Ottoman territories here, and then we still have the pro-German countries of Mexico and Chile over here, and I think that's it in terms of what's left in terms of being a minor aligned power. But anyway, that's that, and as you can see, it's lots of chips. Russians, we got Germans in here, we got one Japanese unit, a lot of British ships, so that has been the bulk of the action in this war so far. Also some French units, French infantry there. Oh no, those guys just got knocked over. Those were there. I was second guessing myself for a second. Yeah, I did lose some French infantry, but those are just chips. Anyway, on with the show, as they say. So Austria-Hungary kicks off the war. Austria-Hungary, Germany, France, and Russia are the only ones that begin the game at war. And Austria-Hungary wiped out Serbia and Romania in one go and built units in Austria, positioned down in Dalmatia and Galicia. Russia, not too keen on their minor aligned powers, both of them being wiped out completely, basically fortified, started preparing for a southern defensive push, and also went into East Prussia and contested it, and also left some units in Poland, or moved units into Poland. I can't remember exactly. No, I moved infantry from Belarus into Poland, from Poland to Western Ukraine, and attacked East Prussia to whittle Germany down a bit, which of course actually went fairly well. And then when he took me out, he then took the contested territory back on his turn, but served its purpose, killing some Germans as much as I can. I built mobilized units in Moscow and the capital of Petrograd, building a air unit. Didn't do anything with the naval units. And then over here, this was my one mistake, I guess, because each game of Kings and Kaisers has been very different and just hasn't crossed my mind pretty much. Because usually we start moving these units that start in the Far East here. We start moving the units. And I left one infantry here, but that was weak enough to get Germany to come over here and attack my territory of Primorie, is that how you pronounce it? And take my victory city of Vladivostok. And then he also attacked Japan in Korea. And then let's see, what else? Yeah, pretty much did that. And he set up a clever blockade, sent a cruiser here, cruiser here, cruiser here, protecting his transport so that I could not get through the blockade. And there was a correction I had to do on my video because I had this cruiser, I think I had this cruiser up here, and because of that I just didn't see it for whatever reason, my eye didn't focus on it. So that was an illegal move, so I could not liberate Primorie, I could only do Korea. So Korea was contested, but I just went all in on Korea and knocked out the cruiser he had in 52, damaging my dreadnought in the process. Built a sub and another artillery here in the homeland, also getting a machine gun on their field technology. Speaking of field technology, I realize I'm bouncing out of order a little bit. Austria did not get field tech. Russia did not get field tech, and Germany got a military base. So he placed a military base in Germany, East Africa. And then France got a improved naval mines, which they placed here. And then the British Empire bought another tech, and with their tech rolls they got two. They built a machine gun here in South Africa and a trench works in Egypt. Japan, like I said, got the machine gun. Ottoman Empire did not get anything, neither did Italy, and neither did the US, but though the US did buy another technology token. Okay, carrying on. Germany here in Africa did a typical kind of scatter, walked into French Equatorial Africa, walked into the two British territories, Nigeria and Gold Coast, left these units here, and then that about covers it for Germany. Oh yeah, they start with a cruiser here in 73, Germany, so he brought that over further into the Pacific over here. Yeah, so that was the cruiser that went 1, 2, 3 there. So, was it? One of the that cruiser went somewhere. Anyway, I think maybe actually that one went here. Now that I think of it. Anyway, okay, keeping track of everything, right? Anyway, moving on to France. Oh yeah, and Germany also knocked out Belgium in one fell swoop, but Belgium did get a few hits against them at the very least. So that was cool. And by attacking Belgium and those British colonies, that brought Britain into the war. Germany also destroyed the British Navy here in Sea Zone 20. Yeah, convoyed the heck out of me, taking 10 IPCs with 3 subs, a dreadnought, and a cruiser remaining. So yeah, that's fun. Very, very fun. He did also attack the British Navy that I had here, the cruiser and transport in Sea Zone 2, and my cruiser managed to knock out the 2 subs that he sent at me, but he did knock out my cruiser, but my transport lived. So that was fun. I'll come back to that in a bit, but let me try and stick with the turn order. I realize I've already done Japan. Anyway, here is France, and France congregated in Lorraine for the most part. Was kind of tempted to attack Belgium, but that was just ultimately too early to do that, even though it was a little tempting, but it would have been like 19 dice against 19 dice. So not great. So anyway, congregated in Lorraine, built 2 fighters out of Verdun, knocked out with 3 infantry. I knocked out 2 infantry in Alsace. As you can see, I only have 1 left, but hey, I took the city and got points for that. And then mobilized units in Paris and brought a guy over to Picardy. They also, since the UK is at war, they activated British Empire. Since the British Empire is at war, they activated them and then moved that guy over from here to there. And then over here doing a little bit of a shuffle with the naval units, coming down to Night 15 and bringing in infantry down to French West Africa. Bringing 1 infantry down there, congregating with a guy from Morocco, and then 2 infantry here, brought back up to Provence. All right, now the British Empire, and we say the British Empire because it's not like it's the original 1914. It is the British Empire, and in BBR and other Exxon's games, it's the United Kingdom. And the reason why I want to stick with British Empire is because it's everything. And the term United Kingdom really applies mostly to the mainland, right? And yeah, there's the colonies and stuff like that, but Commonwealth being incorporated into it completely, all this is the British Empire. That British Empire is, for the time period, it's more appropriate for it. But we still say UK all the time out of force of habit, so it is British Empire, but yeah. Slip of the tongue, force of habit, we'll say UK too sometimes on our videos. So anyway, British Empire, sensing the incoming convoy, congregated and spread out from Egypt and elsewhere and took as many pro-United Kingdom territories as possible. So they brought units to Arabia, Belgian Congo, Angola to each get IPCs and an extra dude. They did not get Portuguese East Africa, so that was another one I missed. But doing that, and also activating mainland Portugal with the transport that was left over. And let's see, what else? They did also get convoyed over here, as did Japan and France. That cruiser costing each power 1 IPC. And what else? Brought units down, consolidated a little bit in the mainland, but not terribly. It was mostly over here. Built units out of India to prepare with a front from this way. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's see what else here. Was there anything else? Double checking. Oh yeah, and also to evade the cruiser move, they moved units over from 61 over to 45, and the transport that started here went down here. Oh, and we had a naval battle against a German cruiser here in 37, costing his German cruiser and also one of mine. So that was fun. Going on from there, let's see. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh, yeah, and then also congregating in Sydney and building a transport and a submarine out of Sydney as well. Let's see. Yeah, that does it. So that was British Empire's turn. I already went over Japan. The Ottomans. Okay, so on my Italy video, I watched the Ottoman turn, but I was in such a hurry to do Italy and US that I didn't actually do it on my board. So if you see that, that's why. But it didn't really affect my Italy play whatsoever. And I already told in advance Madman what my Italy moves would do, so he has filmed his Austria-Hungarian round 2 turn already. So he has that surprise in store for me. But anyway, didn't do any attacks to the Ottoman, but since Ottoman Empire is in the war, now that British Empire is in the war, they sent a cavalry unit up to here to activate Bulgaria for the Austrians. Little sneaky move there. Instead of sending infantry, send a cavalry. You know, cavalries are the only units that land units that can be separate from infantry. Let's see. Yeah, basically he moved as many units as he could into Armenia, into Palestine, congregating in two of them, moving units to southern Anatolia, building stuff there in the mainland capital of Constantinople. Okay. Italy, not yet at war and neutral, congregated, built a naval unit, built an air unit, built an artillery, brought more units down to Libya, congregated in Veneto, and moved units into Tuscany. US, not yet at war, moved over here, built more transports, built more tech, didn't get successful tech rolls, and moved to C-Zone 7 and C-Zone 71, down from 69 to 71. And yeah, that's basically it for America. And China is not yet in the war, as their national protection war has not started, does not start until round 3. And yeah, so they're still not included for the first 2 rounds unless somebody enters the Chinese territory or attacks them. So yeah, very cool. That is our first round of our game of Kings and Kaisers. Let us know what you think so far. But yeah, this is shaping up to be a pretty interesting game, as always. Really cool to see some of the different things happening. I think I forgot to mention Germany brought units down to Tyrol as well. Sent the Zeppelins to Poland to engage in that battle and then land in Tyrol. Zeppelins can move 6 spaces. They're a lot of fun to move around the board. And yeah, it's just been a nice little crazy game so far. Excited to see what is in store for round 2. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. Until then, let's hope I can roll the dice better. And very important, real quick. I know I already said my phrase, but anyway. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I got 1 minor city as the allies, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So Central Powers have 5 victory points, and Madman says I have 5 victory points. However, that is not true. That's a little error. Our victory point for the Balkans is, what is it? Focus. Control of Albania, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece. It's not if one has more dominant control or one doesn't have dominant control, etc. Albania and Greece are neutral. Central Powers do not control those, and the Allies don't control any of those. So the Allies do not have that victory point, contrary to what Madman said. Yeah, Allies don't have that. So currently, if this is correct, the Central Powers are winning with 1 victory point. They got 3 minor cities, being Bucharest, Ypres, however you say that in Belgium, and Warsaw. Well, the Allies only have Strasbourg, and they will definitely lose that, I can guarantee you. Central Powers have, what is this? Belgrade, however you say it, Vladivostok, the 3 minor cities, Pacific colonies currently, and Sofia. While the Allies have most of Africa, the most territory control in Africa, preventing the Russian Revolution so far, as it has not occurred. They have the Western Front point, and they have the favorable trade point. So, do they have the favorable trade point? Let's see. Yes. Okay. Favorable trade is control of the most mainland territories along these sea zones. So, Allies control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I don't know if I think it's no mainland. Sorry, it doesn't count UK. It's these ones. Okay, so anyway, this has been shaping up to be a great game so far, I think, and stay tuned for more. But this is Kings and Kaisers, so let's see what Madman has in store for us with Austria-Hungary.